In football, there comes a moment when a team stops chasing greatness and becomes it.
It's our time. It's time to make it happen. I need you. I need the person next to you. I need that connection. I want you to play every single ball with us. Every pass, every tackle, every run, every decision. You need to leave the energy of that stadium and the people next to you. I count on you. Let's make it happen.
A moment when belief turns into conviction and conviction turns into dominance.
Bringing light to the club is just beautiful because I can see the people coming to watch us and the people working for the club that they're really enjoying it.
For Arsenal, that moment is now. The world once doubted. They said Arsenal were a project.
Listen, I'm fed up with all their excuses anyway, Arsenal. No, I'm serious. Arteta gets interviewed after the game. Listen, he's a sore loser.
A promise.
I keep saying to all my Arsenal friends, watching Arsenal is watching Netflix, You always wait for the next season.
A team still learning to win.
What's the evidence, again, from the Arteta or this group of players that they've got that mentality to challenge? We talk about challenging for a title, but to me, in my mentality, it's about winning titles, not challenging.
But that story belongs to the past. What we're witnessing today isn't the rise of a contender. It's the reign of a powerhouse, a footballing empire built on structure, precision, and unshakable mentality. Arsenal in 2025 are no longer playing beautiful football for admiration. They're playing perfect football for conquest. Every pass, every press, every set piece. It's all part of a grand design, a blueprint engineered to break opponents long before the final whistle. They stand 25 points clear at the top of the Premier League, 25 points ahead of everyone who once said they couldn't last. They are no longer in a title race. They are defining it. And as the season unfolds, one truth has become impossible to ignore. This is the best Arsenal we have ever seen. From the first kick of the season, they moved like a machine disguised as a team. Their rhythm, their timing, their control, it all felt orchestrated. Opponents didn't just lose to them, they were dismantled, piece by piece, by a side that knows exactly how to suffocate a game. The Emirates no longer hosts matches, it hosts masterclasses. The atmosphere inside the stadium has changed. It's not nervous energy anymore. It's expectation. Fans no longer hope for wins. They expect them. They arrive knowing they're about to witness something special, something inevitable. Because this Arsenal side doesn't stumble into victories. They design them. Every goal begins long before the ball hits the net. It starts in training, hours of repetition, patterns rehearsed until they become instinct. Corners, free kicks, second balls, every moment rehearsed, refined and weaponized. Arsenal have turned the smallest details into their greatest strengths. When the whistle blows, the system comes alive. Their movement is almost hypnotic. The backline holds its shape like steel. The midfield moves in synchrony, pressing with intelligence and retreating with order. And when they attack, it's like poetry in fast forward. Fluid, precise, merciless. For years, Arsenal were accused of collapsing under pressure, but this version feeds on it. When the game tightens, they grow stronger. When others panic, they find calm. Their composure is terrifying. Their confidence, absolute. Mikel Arteta has built more than a football team. He's built a mentality, a way of thinking, a way of living the game. His players don't just understand his system. They embody it. Every touch, every movement, every look across the pitch is a language they all speak fluently. There's no chaos in their intensity. It's controlled fire. Arteta's Arsenal are not motivated by emotion alone. They are driven by detail. Every inch of the pitch has meaning. Every phase of play has a trigger. Every pass has a destination before it even leaves a boot. And the result is football so complete that it almost feels unfair. They've conceded fewer goals than any side in Europe. Weeks go by without the ball touching their net. Even the best attacking teams leave the pitch with frustration, not celebration, because against Arsenal, every chance feels earned through suffering. The defensive structure is a wall of discipline. It's not about one player or one tackle. It's about collective understanding. They move as one body, breathe as one unit, and when they break forward, they do it with a speed and precision that no one can match. Arsenal's dominance is built on something deeper than talent. It's built on trust. Every player knows their role, and every role serves the system. It's what makes them unpredictable yet familiar, ruthless yet elegant. And while the numbers tell a story of dominance, 25 points clear, the fewest goals conceded, the most set-piece goals scored, the real story is in the feeling. The sense that this is not a lucky run or a golden patch of form. This is control. Sustained, deliberate, and frighteningly consistent control. There's something symbolic about the way they win. Their football doesn't rely on moments of genius, but on hundreds of tiny decisions executed perfectly. This is what separates great teams from legendary ones. Because Arsenal don't play for the highlight reel. They play for dominance, for total authority, and that's exactly what they've achieved. Each match feels like a chapter in a masterpiece. Each goal, a brushstroke of inevitability. You can sense it from the first whistle. The crowd, the press, the opponents, they all know how the story ends. Arsenal win. And it's not just that they win, it's how they win. With calm, with clarity, with an aura that says, we are inevitable. In a world obsessed with drama and unpredictability, Arsenal have become predictable in the most terrifying way possible. They always deliver. When you watch them now, you don't just see a football team. You see a philosophy made flesh. A team built on discipline and perfected through suffering. They've learned from every heartbreak, every collapse, every near miss. And those lessons have turned into fuel. There was a time when Arsenal's identity was beauty without bite. That time is gone. Today they're beautiful and brutal in equal measure. Their football is art painted with steel. They can kill games with possession, choke you with pressure, or strike like lightning on the counter. Whatever the situation demands, they adapt to it with total control. And perhaps that's the greatest evolution of all. Not just their tactics, but their mindset. They no longer fear losing. They expect to win. Arteta's revolution wasn't about instant trophies. It was about building something that lasts, a culture, a standard, a way of playing that doesn't fade when form dips or players change. It took years of discipline, sacrifice, and doubt. But standing now, 25 points ahead, the league practically sealed, it's clear that every setback was part of the foundation. Every tear of frustration, every criticism, every "they're not ready yet" led to this. Arsenal didn't rise overnight. They climbed brick by brick, setback by setback, and now they stand at the summit of English football. And the view from the top? It's breathtaking. But even here, they're not satisfied, because this Arsenal isn't chasing one trophy. They're chasing immortality. The Champions League beckons, not as a dream, but as destiny. They've faced the best in Europe and made them look ordinary. Every game, every challenge, every opponent, they've turned into another testament of control. You can feel it in their presence. That quiet belief that this team, this version of Arsenal, is different. They don't just want to win the league. They want to mark an era. The kind of era that gets remembered in decades, not seasons. The kind of era where children grow up watching Arsenal not as underdogs, but as the standard. Every great empire is built by individuals who understand their place in the grand design. And in this Arsenal side, every name, every role, every heartbeat contributes to the same rhythm. Bukayo Saka, the heartbeat of the right flank. He's not just a winger anymore, he's a weapon of precision. His runs are timed like clockwork, his dribbles choreographed chaos. When the game tightens and moments demand courage, it's always Saka who rises. He carries Arsenal's energy, the bridge between calm and chaos. His ability to stretch the field, to attack with intelligence and power, makes him the symbol of everything Arteta has built. Fearless, focused, and endlessly consistent. On the opposite side, Gabriel Martinelli embodies speed in its purest form. He doesn't glide. He attacks space like a storm. Every run is violent, every finish explosive. But what defines him isn't his pace, it's his discipline. Under Arteta, Martinelli has learned when to burn and when to breathe. His pressing, his awareness, his timing, all sharpened into something surgical. He's become the embodiment of Arsenal's evolution, from raw energy to refined purpose. And at the center of it all stands Declan Rice, the commander, the anchor that turns chaos into calm. His presence isn't loud, but it echoes through every touch. He dictates tempo, protects the backline, and connects everything between defense and attack. He's more than a midfielder. He's a conductor, orchestrating movement with invisible strings. When Arsenal lose the ball, he's the first to win it back. When they need to break lines, he's the one driving forward. Every era needs its spine, and Declan Rice is Arsenal's. Behind him, Martin Zubimendi is the silent brain. He reads the game like a scientist, always 2 passes ahead, always in the right space. His positioning, his anticipation, his patience. It's the glue that keeps Arsenal's control intact. In a team full of energy and aggression, Zubimendi brings the calm, a reminder that dominance isn't just about intensity, it's about intelligence. At the back, Gabriel Magalhaes and William Saliba are the walls upon which this empire stands. One is fire, the other ice. Gabriel, fierce and fearless, throws himself into every duel, every header, every moment of danger. Saliba, composed and unshakable, reads the play before it even unfolds. Together they are balance. Together, they are what every striker dreads. They don't just defend, they impose. Their chemistry is no longer built on instinct. It's built on understanding, on years of partnership and trust. And supporting them from the wings of defense are Jurrien Timber and Riccardo Calafiori, two players who've redefined what fullbacks mean in modern football. Timber brings energy, adaptability, and composure. His overlaps and underlaps are like weapons, his defensive timing flawless. He's not just a right back. He's an extra midfielder when needed, an attacker when allowed. On the left, Calafiori mirrors him. Controlled aggression, tactical sharpness, and the courage to step into midfield when the team needs an extra mind on the ball. Together, they give Arsenal what every elite team dreams of: balance. And when the ball moves forward, when the system breathes, there's always one man ready to turn precision into power. Victor Gyökeres, a striker built for this Arsenal, not just to score, but to serve as a magnet. He draws defenders out of shape, opens space for Saka and Martinelli, and presses like a man possessed. His movement isn't random. It's a calculated form of disruption. He's not chasing the spotlight. He's creating it for others. And in the biggest moments, he delivers. And then there's Eberechi Eze, the artist in a room full of soldiers. Every great team needs someone who paints the unexpected. Eze gives Arsenal that unpredictability, that touch of magic that turns control into creativity. When games demand imagination, he answers. His dribbles, his passes, his sudden bursts of flair, they remind everyone that even in a system built on precision, there's still room for art. But it's Mikel Arteta who holds it all together, the architect behind every pass, every press, every pattern. He has turned structure into beauty and belief into dominance. His obsession with detail has reshaped Arsenal from a hopeful project into a flawless machine. He doesn't just prepare for matches, he prepares for moments, building a mindset that never bends, never panics, never doubts. When you watch Arsenal play now, you don't just see tactics. You see trust. You see players moving in perfect harmony, trusting each other, trusting the plan. That's why they're 25 points clear. Not because they're lucky, not because they're riding form, but because they've mastered the one thing every champion needs: control. The Emirates has become more than a stadium. It's a fortress of identity. When the red and white take the pitch, you can feel it in the air. The confidence, the unity, the belief. Every cheer, every chant, every second feels like a continuation of something historic. This is not just football. This is the rebirth of Arsenal, the realization of a dream once thought impossible. A few seasons ago, they were mocked for falling short. Now they stand as the example everyone else studies. They've become what every club wants to be: modern, ruthless, relentless, and disciplined. And while the numbers tell part of the story, the clean sheets, the goals, the margin at the top, the real story lies in the feeling they leave behind. That sense of inevitability. That realization that no matter who they play, no matter where they play, Arsenal will find a way. Because this version of Arsenal doesn't play the game to participate. They play to define it. Every corner they take feels like a weapon. Every defensive block feels like a statement. Every counterattack feels like destiny unfolding in real time. And as the season draws closer to its end, the world can only watch as Arsenal stretch the gap further and further, leaving the rest of the league behind, forcing them to ask the same question again and again. How do you stop perfection? The answer is simple. You can't. Not when a team is this connected. Not when every piece of the puzzle fits so seamlessly. Not when every player knows the mission and believes in it completely. The dream that began with faith and frustration has turned into a dynasty. Arteta's Arsenal are no longer chasing glory. They're writing history, one flawless performance at a time. And as they march toward the final months, eyes on the Champions League, hands already touching the Premier League trophy, one thing is clear. This is not luck. This is not a phase. This is Arsenal. A team that redefined control. A team that rebuilt belief. A team that became a symbol of what modern football can be when vision meets discipline. For years, the Premier League was a battle between giants. But now, one stands above them all. Their football isn't just winning matches. It's shaping memories. It's inspiring generations. It's proving that greatness isn't born. It's built. And when the final whistle blows, when the cameras fade, when the chants echo through the London night, the story of Arsenal will remain. Not as the team that almost did it, but the team that changed everything. Because this, right here, is the Arsenal era. They're not waiting for their time anymore. Their time is now. So, as the red and white rise again, as history bends to their will, remember this: greatness doesn't arrive quietly. It arrives with roar, rhythm, and relentless belief. This is Arsenal. This is domination. And their story, has only just begun. If you've made it this far, you've witnessed something special, the rebirth of a football empire. So don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, because this is Football Central, and we tell the stories that define the beautiful game.